Well, I was just going to put this out there. If anybody out there that watches this hears of a who can dig the straightest ditch contest out there anywhere, let me know. I think I'm about ready to sign up. Hello, everyone. Well, it's a new day. Today we're going to run some water line. If you've not watched before, we're building a house up here on the hill. We got gravel delivered this week. I've put 300 foot of water line in so far, but that's all the biggest roll I could find, but I was able to find 500 foot this week. So we're putting 1 inch water line. We're right here to where the machine settings where we ended last time we were here. So we're gonna run, we've got about another 350 foot of line to run up to the top of the hill. So that's what I'm gonna work on today. Grease the machine, put some fuel in it, and we'll get going. But I will say one thing for those who may watch this and you know, comment, where'd you get that jacket at, Travis? Well, I hate to tell you, they quit making this baby back in the 90s when I got it, so sorry. All right, here's where we ended the other day. Basically 300 feet from the road to here, which I cut 20 feet off the line out here and run over here to one of those yard hydrants I'm gonna put up down there. So there's 280 foot of line to right here. The house is gonna set, if you can see the dirt pile, it'll set, there's a white stake up there, and the house will set right over here. So common sense would tell you, we'll just run the water line straight up the hill, save a bunch of pipes, save a bunch of time. But the reason I'm not doing that is my field lines will be in here. So that's the reason I'm not running the water line straight up the hill. I've got to feed the building, and I got to feed the house, and I got to miss the system. So that's the reason I'm keeping it down here lower. You'll be amazed how straight you can paint a line if you'll just pick you a spot out and only look at the spot you're going to. Works pretty well. If you didn't see my first video when I started running the water line, our frost line here where I'm located in East Tennessee is 12 inches. So the water department, they run their line at like 18 inches is what they typically run. So I'm running this at 2 foot, but if I set my bucket down flat on the ground, if you look right over the edge of the bucket right there, that's probably about 22 inches to the top of my bucket when it's setting flat. So I'm just running at 2 foot. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but that's what we're doing. So we're gonna clean the ditch out, tie on, and take it up the hill. Some people will ask the question, why didn't you just use a ditch witch to run a 1 inch water line? Well, the simple answer is I don't have one. It would have been a little aggravating over there coming through the ditch. I mean, you'd have had something to dug that out. But obviously coming up through here, I could have used a ditch witch and not disturbed as much ground as I have, but I've got to backfill all this around the driveway and re-sow it, so I'm going to be going over this anyway. So I don't have a ditch witch. I've got this, and with this thing, you can go I can cover about as much ground with this as I can a ditch witch. So that's the reason I'm digging an 18-inch trench for a 1 inch water line. Well, the fun has begun. I'm into some more of this slate. I hit it out there about 15 feet ago, which it's come out pretty good, but getting in here to where it doesn't act like it wants to break out of there. So I'll keep scratching away at it. Well, I've hit a pretty good little pile of rock. I've hit it all the way out through there. You can see kind of where it's at, and it's kind of got my ditch up and down, kind of scraping across the top of them, in which I thought, well, I'm about 18 inches under the ground out there at the top of them rock, and I thought, well, I'm just going to raise my ditch back up and bring it on out through here, and I'll ride across the top of it till I get out of it. But I've got right here, and it's hit pretty solid. I'm only probably 8 inches under the ground, so I've tried to scratch across the top and break the top off. It's tied in there pretty well. So the only thing I know to do is I'm going to step back on each side of it and hopefully get in there to where I can get under it and start breaking that stuff out. It's killing a lot of time, but it's got to go up a hill, and I got to have it deeper than that. So we'll see what happens. I just want to throw this out there real quick. If anybody hears of a who can dig the straightest ditch contest, hey, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to sign up, because I feel like, hey, after that I'm almost there. So no, I've had to just weave my way around these rocks to try to get it down to the depth I want. So I don't think the water line will care, and once I get a sleeve pulled on my water line and run it through there and get it covered up, nobody will ever know. But it's not the prettiest thing, but at least I've been able to keep it and get down to my depth to keep it as deep as I need it. So anyway, we'll keep it trucking, but I will tell you, this is a pain in the rear. I feel for you boys that work in rock quarries. Well, the digging's getting a little bit easier, but I'll tell you, what's got me worried is, I don't know if you can see or not, but over there beyond the, let's see if you can see, beyond that dirt pile, there's a light pole. Well, I'm going to run underground utilities. I'm going to run them up across the little valley here, up to the pad right here, and I'll set my underground, their meter base and everything will go here. I went and picked the pad up for it the other day, so it'll set right there. But I've got to dig 600 foot Well, it's 500, a little over well, it's about 500 feet to here. So I've got to dig 500 foot of line, but that stuff's got to be about 48 inches deep. And so if this little old water line up through here is any indication of what my soil conditions are going to be, I may be investing in some dynamite or something. I'll try to make it to the top of the hill. Well, I had to open my big mouth and say the digging was getting better. The old slate is back. Well, I'll tell you, this is a royal pain in the butt. You can see this seam here. If you can get under the edge, you can pop that stuff up. It's actually brittle. I mean, here's a piece of it. If I drop it, you see it just breaks up. Well, obviously, you get them, you get them this thick, it don't break as easy. But when it's interweaved in here like this is, it makes for a fun outing. So I'll be glad to get the top of the hill, but I'm gonna have to sleeve my water line though for sure, because I don't want to lay it down in this and backfill it, because I could go and get, I guess, topsoil and put in here, line the bottom, and and put my water line in it, and then make sure I put that dirt back on top of it. But anyway, it'd take a while, so I may just bite the bullet, do like I did down at the bottom of the hill, put 1.25 inches, and just have to run it all the way around. But I don't feel safe and put my water line in this. I found if you don't anchor this stuff down to something, if you're by yourself, you're in for a fun outing. So I've got it tied off to the trailer. Let's see if we can roll it out. Well, let's go get another 50 feet, taper together, and roll on with it. I got 300 foot of 1.25" run, and apparently I can't measure because I'm about that much short. Another 20 foot would have got me in good shape, because when I get to right here, I'm basically back into red dirt. So, yeah. Need to get at least probably another 30 foot, and that'll get me back up here in good shape. Well, we got it backfilled up here to where I run out of pipe. I'm just gonna get 3 more joint of pipe and finish that up till I get up here to where it's no rock. Backfilling this trench of where I had all that slate in the pile, sort of got a mess. I just roughed it in. I'm gonna take the tractor in the yard box and kind of try to just run over it and dress it up a little bit. Sounds like a real good job for the kids to come up here and pick all these rock up. I'm sure they won't agree with me, but they gotta earn their keep. I'm gonna hit it with the yard box a minute and call it a night.